Welcome into a brand new episode of Audionots, the only podcast in the world that is certified both gluten and lactose free. I am your host, Eric Oldboy, alongside Mr. MC Ren
in the house.
How you doing today?
Good. You know, this is our first podcast of the decade, the new decade.
2020.
Yeah.
It's the future.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
We got flying cars.
Not yet, but that's a topic I think I might want to talk about today. I thought that we'd remind everybody real quick that we're on Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, Google, and Apple. But I thought we'd do our normal thing where we talk a little bit about Star Wars, The Mandalorian to get started. My wife says, you guys talk about Star Wars way too much, but, we can't do it.
Half the episode is always about Star Wars.
At least for now. I mean, if everybody's tuning in just because they like Star Wars, they're going to be sad by the next podcast because it's all over for a while.
Yeah. Till what, next year?
Yeah, 2021?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I thought we would talk about Star Wars for a bit, and then maybe after that we'll jump into some of our news jacuzzi facts. I got some good ones. I got the Billboard top songs of the decade.
Wow.
I have Netflix's most popular stream of 2019. It's pretty interesting. I've got an amazing story that involves a judge and a threesome.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, no, I knew you'd like that one. I also thought I had some amazing facts about why 2020 is in fact the future. Some of the things that are happening today that is real things. And then lastly, a few other streaming facts, some hot streaming news. The Healthy Stream will kick in live with that. And a brand new feature that we're going to be calling the Full Advantage.
You need to get a new sound effect for that.
Yeah, I was trying to think of, what would be a sound effect for the Full Advantage? With maybe some, because a lot of times the Full Advantage is taking advantage of something to the max, so you can maybe save some coin. Maybe it could be change noise, or it could just be like Full Advantage and echo a bunch of times or something. I don't know.
I'll just cut out your your clip there and do it.
Just Full Advantage. Yeah, I don't know.
There you go. We'll use that.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Anyways, so do you want to start with Star Wars, The Rise of the Skywalker, or Mandalorian?
Let's go Mandalorian first, because that's kind of like what we did.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. So
season finale.
We are gonna start off, with the season finale of Mandalorian.
It seems so long ago.
I know you're gonna have to put on your thinking cap, trying to remember, because it has been a while. I mean, we've been doing this pretty much every week until this last little bit between holidays.
Yeah.
I guess real quick, how was your holiday? How was your Christmas and New Year's?
It was good. Went down to California to visit family too.
Yeah.
Then came back. Well, we did Christmas here, and then went down to California for just for a bit, and came back here for New Year's.
How'd it go? Everything was good.
A lot of family. My wife finally get to meet a bunch of my family from California.
And they all get along. Nobody's oh my god.
For the most part, that's what she says. But
that's what she says.
Yeah.
What was your favorite Christmas gift that you received?
Well, it's kind of funny because my wife and I, we both exchanged presents, and we got each other Apple Watches.
Nice.
So it's just
the brand new one.
Yeah. But my most exciting one I got was I have a little case that holds all my cords.
A cord case.
Cord case, yeah. Little pouch.
You're easily excited.
Yeah, because I do a lot of podcast editing.
Yeah,
and designing. We do graphic design a lot.
Yeah.
And so I need cords, and that's a way for me to get organized. Otherwise, it's all over the place.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I even heard you bragging about your cord case earlier. So that's I believe that is your favorite gift.
Yeah. I show it to you, open up all nice.
Check out my cord case.
Yeah. How was yours?
Good. Yeah, we didn't go too many places. Visited my mom and then stayed home with the kids. Actually, the older kids came over and we watched movies and opened presents. I think my favorite gift. Let me think about it for a second.
Did you tell me you do something with your wife? Like something about gift exchanging?
What do you mean?
You guys don't give each other gifts anymore?
Yeah, I think we've hit the age where we don't give each other big gifts because there's just no point in it.
It's kind of I'm old.
Yeah, I'm old. Once you get to be a certain age, it's you kind of just buy what you want. And if there's something we really want, we buy it. So what we do now is we'll pick one thing that we will both enjoy that's more expensive.
Yeah.
And then we'll go and buy that later on together. So we're going to buy a Traeger grill. is our big gift together.
Oh wait, so you don't buy on Christmas?
No. We'll look for a deal. I want to take full advantage.
So basically, the Christmas gift is you two agreeing on a bigger gift.
We still do like stockings where like we'll throw some junk in the stocking.
Yeah.
You know, like I got some cologne and I got a video game I'm real excited about. I got the new, it's not new to a lot of people, but the Legend of Zelda game.
The remake. Yeah.
Yeah, the remake.
I have that one.
Yeah, on the Switch. I really enjoyed that. It's pretty fun.
It has like that top view, old school view.
Yeah, and then it's more about, for us, it's more about seeing the kids open stuff and like enjoying them. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Because you get joy out of seeing people open gifts that you give too. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, you like giving gifts rather than receiving? And I actually have more fun watching them react to the things that they get.
Yeah, because like for me, I like to give like more intimate gifts.
Yeah.
Like for my wife, she's a very big. She has a list, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I ain't using your list because lists are for people that don't really know you that well.
Yeah, makes sense.
And so I got her this one shirt that her like favorite K-pop artist was wearing.
Yeah.
And it was freaking Rick and Morty. I'm like, hell
even better.
Yeah. And so you couldn't find that at any store, so I had to like use this one print company that was kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
And I bought it. And
did it show up?
It showed up. So
rob your bank account?
Yeah.
Nice. So, win-win.
Yeah. So she wasn't expecting it, and it's more intimate that way. So she loved it.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do give good gifts. You gave me a gift. It was a Boba Fett kind of like, I don't know, Asian-y looking button-up shirt.
Yeah.
Totally dope. I love it.
I was going to buy it for myself. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, that was a good call.
It's Christmas.
I love your Christmas spirit.
Yeah, shouldn't be greedy.
No, I really liked it. Thank you. So, speaking of Boba Fett and his cousin, the Mandalorian, what was it they actually told? I should have wrote this down because they finally revealed his name.
Oh, it was Din?
Din something?
Din Dish. I don't know.
Oh, well, we're terrible with names. Yeah. It's kind of like a running gag at this point. But yeah, they did reveal the Mandalorian's name. I thought that was pretty cool.
And his face.
That's right. And his face.
Yeah.
And we got to kind of understand it. I thought what was kind of neat about this last episode is they had a lot of moments that they kind of, when they were going back in time and showing us him as a kid when the Mandalorian kind of found him. And a lot of the stuff that they showed there was very reflective of the same things we saw him doing with the baby Yoda, the child.
Yeah. And
they kind of tied it all together that way. But we really got to finally see more of Moff Gideon, the bad guy, the villain for season 2. What do you think of him?
He likes that he has like a bad Darth Vader look to him, and dude just taking his power for what it is and using it, right?
Yeah.
And at the very end when he busted out that blade, oh damn.
Yeah, the dark saber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the Star Wars weekend, because I watched The Mandalorian. The last one I think I watched after I saw Rise of the Skywalker, right? Because we saw the 7th one right before it and the 8th one right after it.
Yes.
Because in the 7th one they had revealed Baby Yoda doing the healing,
the force healing,
which was, we didn't realize it at the time, was kind of giving us some ideas of what could go on in Rise of the Skywalker. And then we got to see the final Mandalorian after Rise of the Skywalker. So we were treated to some new lightsabers over like a few days. Yeah. So we got the dark saber, which is new for the cinematic type universe, I guess, but it's been in Clone Wars and it's been in the comics.
Yeah.
And then we got Rey's new yellow lightsaber, and I don't know if I've ever seen anybody with a yellow saber before.
Maybe in the Clone Wars, or
maybe. I'm just starting to watch the Clone Wars now. Now that I have Disney Plus, kind of gone back and watched it. I'm only a few episodes in though. So.
Yeah, I started too. I'm on like 2 episodes deep.
Yeah, our Star Wars historian sent us a list that told us the best way to watch it, which isn't necessarily in release order.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing at first.
It's a little confusing, but I think I've gotten the hang of it. I've been watching it. I saw the Clone War cartoon animated movie.
Yeah. And
I'm a handful of episodes into the Clone Wars, so hopefully that'll help explain a little bit. But the darksaber was dope as far as that goes. I mean, he cut through that. At first I just thought he had like maybe some sort of like torch or
like some kind of electric blade or something.
Yeah, we really wasn't sure what it was. And then he pops out. I'm like, oh my god, that's like a black lightsaber.
Yeah,
and it was shaped like a literal like pirate sword.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. So that got me curious, and I started looking it up a little bit about Moff Gideon and the Darksaber specifically. And I guess over time there have been different people that have had it.
And there's only one blade.
Yeah, and it gets moved, from person to person. I guess Darth Maul had it for a bit.
Yeah.
Somebody else had it for a little bit, and whoever I guess kind of has it is like head of the Mandalorian. It's like a kind of artifact that is related to the Mandalorian.
But he brought the Mandalorians together,
Right. So the question is, I want to ask you your thoughts. Is Moff Gideon wanting to be the head of the Mandalorian, or is he wanting to destroy the Mandalorian and he's collecting artifacts along the way?
Option B, probably.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Because we talked a little bit last episode about how Moff Gideon has like a whole like army at his disposal because the Empire has fallen apart, but he still controls that whole wing of stormtroopers and guys like that.
Because they did mention when Mando was like, yeah, he was at that whole like big battle that happened. I forget what it was called.
Right.
And that's why he knows his real name.
Yeah, he knew a lot about He knew a lot about everybody.
Yeah.
So he's a real villain that's done his homework. He knows these people.
Yeah, and I think that's when he got the Darksaber too at that time, because it was like a whole Mandalorian war against someone.
So whatever that battle was, he destroyed probably all the Mandalorian and stole the Darksaber at that time.
Maybe that might be like an episode next season. Just go a little backstory of how it all happened, like how he has the Darksaber.
Well, what's kind of cool about it is they announced that they're going to bring... Originally, it wasn't going to come back season 2 until 2021, which is like, ugh, come on. So I think that they realized how popular it was, and the fact that they're kind of without any new Star Wars stuff for a while, that The Mandalorian's coming back this year, sometime in November, which is still a long wait, but I guess we get 1 or 2 Marvel shows in between. I think we get WandaVision and... and Falcon and...
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Well, we also get Black Widow in the movie too.
Oh yeah, but I kind of don't care about that.
Oh.
I mean, I'm trying to. Maybe once more stuff comes out, I'll get more excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm not like super excited about Black Widow. I don't know. But how did you like? Did you like the conclusion? Did the conclusion of The Mandalorian make you like the series more, less? I mean, what were your overall thoughts?
Well, I liked it because it was like a season finale, but it also gave you more background to the whole storyline.
Right.
So it got me excited to see what they're gonna do. Because like, remember that one lady Mandalorian? Yeah. It was like, I want you to train him or something like that. I'm like, yo, is Mando gonna train Baby Yoda to use the Force, or fight with a saber or something?
Oh, can you imagine? Oh man, how cool would it be? And now I'm just spitballing because you said that. What if somehow Mando or whatever his name is, Dave the Mandalorian, if Dave the Mandalorian defeats Moff Gideon at the end of season 2 and gets a hold of that lightsaber, and he's like a lightsaber fighting Mandalorian,
and he like unites the whole Mandalorians together.
Yeah, brings them all together. Yeah. He's got a little Force action going on. He's got a little Force Yoda. But
then the one thing I was thinking about is how how Baby Yoda is like 50.
Yeah,
and if you're gonna train that baby to be like, so when Mando's old, baby's still a baby, right?
I guess. I mean, how long is it a baby for? Does it all of a sudden rapidly age later?
So like 50 years, is that what 5 years in Mando lifetime?
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's 50, but somehow goes faster, like dog years.
Yeah, once he hits like a adolescent, he just puberty hits and he grows really fast.
As far as we know, he doesn't get much taller.
Yeah.
I mean, Yodas aren't that big.
It's kind of like Baby Groot, he's like teenage Groot.
Yeah, he was teenage Groot in the next movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's something like that. Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. What I liked when they were going into the area you were talking about, the female Mandalorian that kind of builds the armor and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were down in that little dungeony area, and she's like trying to explain to them that Mandalorians not a race, it's a creed. Yeah. All I could think was, oh, Creed's right there. Does he know? He's there.
I know. I laughed at that part too.
I honestly have to believe that they're well aware of that, because wasn't that a walkie-talkie episode?
Yeah,
a Taquito
the last one. Yeah.
That guy's a great director.
He's a callback.
He's killing it. Yeah. Was that so remind me, because it's been a long time now, it feels like, since I saw The Mandalorian episode 8. where the two bike trooper guys, scout troopers. Was that episode 8 or 7?
Yeah, that was episode 8 at the beginning. That's how it started.
So good. And I'm sure you know, but I assume probably most of the audience knows that one scout trooper was Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah.
And the other one, I can't remember the guy's name, but he played Max on Happy Endings.
Yeah, I don't know his name too.
I don't know his real name.
He does a lot of comedy stuff.
Yeah, he's always funny.
Yeah.
I would love it if those guys got a spinoff. Because how good, now that they have a channel where they can put this kind of stuff, they have a lot of ability to really explore. What if they made a sitcom with Star Wars characters? Kind of like we were talking about that cartoon that's a sitcom of Star Trek.
Oh, like the... What did you call it?
Lower Decks?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not a cartoon. What if they took these two dopey ass scout troopers and made a show out of that? Like, how did they get there? Why are they all such bad shots? Now that it's canon, we know that troopers can't shoot.
Dude, I was bursting out laughing in that scene.
It was so funny. And then the best part is he goes like smacking Baby Yoda. I saw people like getting all but her on the interwebs. They're like, "Oh my god, this guy's punching Baby Yoda."
Dude, baby's 50 years old.
Yeah, he can take it. He's got probably force field.
Yeah.
Force field.
Wait, did they die?
Did they die? But you can still do a prequel, right?
Oh, yeah.
What were their lives to get to that point?
Yeah, right.
Even if they're dead.
Yeah.
How long did it take them to get there? So they're grown-ass men, right?
All right, Disney. Do it.
Do it, Disney. Do it. Do it. Let me ask you this. Did you like The Mandalorian final episode or season even more or less than Rise of the Skywalker?
Well, I like the story of the Mandalorian and where it's going, and but the excitement value, I have to say, Rise got me more excited watching it. It's more entertaining for me.
Yeah, the production values on Rise is amazing, but yeah, I don't know, I almost feel like I'm more excited for Mandalorian. For me, watching Rise of the Skywalker, because I've heard a lot of negative reviews and I've heard a lot of like crazy positive reviews. It seems like you can only be like one way or another. I don't know why. I'm kind of in the middle. Of the 3 movies in the last trilogy, Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of the Skywalker, for me, The Force Awakens was by far the best of the 3. Which is unusual. Sometimes the third one should be the best, but that one was my favorite. What about you?
I agree.
I liked The Last Jedi the least.
Man, I just wish J.J. Abrams was able to direct all 3.
And I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Is they made a series of 3 movies and they decided to go completely different route in the second one for some reason. I mean, producers could have stepped in and said, "Why you're changing it too much for the third one to make sense anymore."
Yeah.
And then JJ kind of rolled in and said, "I'm going to fix it all." And he was fixing things that happened in everything ever. There was a lot of people have complained that the Rise of Skywalker just had too much fan service. And that didn't really bother me. I mean, I appreciate that he kind of went and did all these small things.
Yeah.
It was cool, like, from the little bits where Chewbacca finally got his freaking medal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, come on. How come Chewbacca doesn't get a medal originally?
Yeah, he deserves it.
The hairy dog wants a medal. Give him one.
Yeah.
I would say, for me, I also liked Rise of the Skywalker, but it had a lot of flaws. It was still a really likable movie.
Yeah, because like I said, it's very entertaining.
Yeah,
it's a ride from beginning to end.
I felt, speaking of ride, that the beginning of it was almost too fast paced.
Really?
Yeah, because they didn't waste any time. They jumped into that, and it was like, oh shit, there's stuff happening. The people are flying around. Yeah. They're like running from A to B to C, and it was like I almost wanted to stop, pause, take a breath. This is like and then it kind of settled in for me into what it was trying to do towards the middle.
Right.
But yeah, it was so fast paced, and one of the things that I didn't like is they felt the need to force kind of like an old switcheroo on us right at the beginning or towards the beginning middle that was totally unnecessary, where they capture Chewie and then they think, he's gonna they're taking him away in the ship, and it looked like Rey exploded the ship by accident because she's so incredibly force strong.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh wait, there was another ship you didn't even know about.
How did you not see that ship?
What the hell? How come they didn't show it? At the very least, they should have been like, there's 2 ships there. And then we would have thought, oh no, kill Chewie. But then we still see, oh wait, there's another ship flying away. We're okay. That was kind of a weird, like, got ya. And I hate gotcha moments. Yeah, what was the point?
Just like when you found out who the mole was.
Yeah, that was almost as bad. That's a fair point.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, but so this guy has been in all the movies, and then it's like he's right, shoot me so they don't know who I am, and then he gets shot anyways. I saw someone make a cartoon or a little animated strip on Twitter where they're like, they should have just been like, no, come with us, you'll be fine. Could have saved him right there.
Yeah.
Homie got killed instantly. He's like, he thought he was the good mole, but they didn't fool nobody.
Maybe that was like Abrams' attack on Johnson, you know?
He's like, this guy's a Ryan Johnson. I've ever seen one.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah.
Pew. Yeah, I did like things I liked. So it's funny, we talk about how we like this movie, but then we're complaining. The things I did like is I liked how they kind of fleshed out Poe's backstory a little bit.
Yeah.
And they introduced his girlfriend from whenever, and he used to be a spice runner.
Yeah.
So they kind of like made him very similar to Han Solo.
You know what? You know if kids know what spice means?
No. What do you think in this instance? Spice is drugs, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. That's what I assumed.
Yeah. That's what I assumed too.
Yeah. So both him and Solo were drug mules, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty contemporary. There are lots of people do that.
Yeah. And then Finn was giving him a hard time, and if he's like, "Yo, you're a stormtrooper, bro."
What's funny is a lot of people, I think, wanted Finn. There was a lot of people on their interwebs that wanted Finn and Poe to have some sort of
bromance.
Yeah, well, even more than a bromance. They wanted them to have a legitimate romance.
Yeah.
And then they were like all upset that because they really wanted Disney to give them a little LGBTQ in there, which is fine. I get that.
They did.
They did.
Yeah.
And so I guess what I heard was they want to sell the movie in China, and China is not having any of that still.
Oh.
And so they kind of wussed out on doing the Finn Poe romance and gave you the two ladies kissing and thing because it's really easy to cut that and have it not affect the movie at all.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
I saw it too.
Yeah, no, I saw it. But it'd be really easy to lop that out for the Chinese release, which makes sense. But at the same time, I think it also says something that everybody wanted so badly for there to be this like legitimate love style romance between these two guys, which is perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. But it also is like, why can't two regular guys be friendly like that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a story in itself that I think people are missing.
Yeah, they're bros.
Yeah, that these guys are legit bros, and they can have feelings of friendship that are just as powerful as being a loving relationship.
Nothing needs to be sexual all the time,
No, that's exactly it. Like everybody wanted to sexualize it because they just feel maybe underrepresented in movies and stuff, and I get that. But there's also something to be said about the fact that look, they didn't cop out and say, look, these two guys have these feelings for each other, but it's not romantic. It's just guys being like good guys to each other, which we need more of in cinema too.
Dude, did they ever reveal what Finn was gonna tell Rey?
No, but JJ came out afterwards and had to tell everybody because it's like he just didn't get to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like he ran out of time.
What did he say?
So basically he wants, because everybody's like, well, Finn's pining after Rey and everybody's upset Rey kisses her, like whatever Kylo Ren is to her.
Yeah, forced boyfriend.
And they're like, well, Finn's clearly pining after Rey, but it turns out, according to JJ, who helped write the script, that Finn just wanted to tell Rey that he's force sensitive.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it.
Because he could feel where Rey is.
Right. He can sense her. He could feel so he doesn't necessarily have a force power. And I think that's part of a bigger plot that they're trying to work towards. Even when you saw a little bit in The Last Jedi with the kid at the end, that there's a lot of people out there that are force sensitive.
Right.
And so I think that's kind of what he was trying to get to. So
I mean, that's how the Jedis came about, right? They didn't breed Jedis to make more Jedis. They went around looking for force sensitive kids to train.
Right. It's almost like finding the mutants in the kind of X-Men movies.
Yeah.
You're not specifically breeding X-Men, but every once in a while that mutation happens in somebody.
And then Yoda goes into the Force, tries to find Professor X or something.
Yeah, exactly. What did you think about the conclusion that we waited all this time to see who Rey was? We're like, is Rey gonna be a Skywalker? Is she a nobody like they said in The Last Jedi? Or is she a Solo? What's going on with Rey?
Well, this movie, I felt like it was episode 8 and a half and 9.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that if they reveal that she was a Palpatine, and they should have did a little more backstory to that. And
a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm almost wondering and maybe it won't. Maybe they'll never tell us. But it feels like at this point, Star Wars feels the need to continue to make sure we get all of our gaps filled in.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like their gap filled in?
Yeah.
And so, and that's what Rey said to Finn. But I think that, I don't know, but would it be cool if in The Mandalorian season 2 we learn that maybe this Baby Yoda thing is part of like some, because they're definitely cloning some ish. There's some cloning stuff going on.
Yeah, because you see Snoke's like body.
You see all these like they got Snokes in jars, like a bunch of lobsters, a lobster tank. You know, it may be that was part of how they brought Palpatine back.
Yeah.
And the question I had was, you said Palpatine was being held up like he's some sort of like puppet, almost like connected to the
like a life support sort of thing?
Yeah, it was weird, right? And was Palpatine, do you think, cloned and remade? Or maybe he was never ever dead, and the Palpatine we saw Darth Vader toss was more of a physical projection he could do, and he's always been connected to this thing?
I don't know, man. I mean,
these are the questions I wonder.
Because anything could happen. I don't know.
What if Palpatine and his, because he had a whole group of like Sith guys, they had like a gladiator style arena of guys just hanging out. Yeah. They're just waiting for the war. I don't know what was going on. And what if like they've been using like cloning Snokes, these weird Snoke Force Sith things, and they use that to almost power themselves. And Palpatine's been kind of behind the scenes, and we'll hopefully get to learn maybe more about that in The Mandalorian when we start figuring out that they've been cloning evil Sith Force.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense or just if it's out there.
Yeah. But for me, overall, the movie was really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of, entertainment-wise.
You know, it was an entertaining movie. It was fast-paced. It was exciting. They did really good at kind of answering pretty much all the questions. Yeah. They did leave a few strings untied. But, for the most part, I liked it too. But if I'm ranking them, it still goes Force Awakens, Rise, and then Last Jedi. But this did make me like Last Jedi a little bit better.
Yeah, because I actually rewatched it, and it wasn't that bad, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go back. Maybe this series of movies will play better if you watch them all in a row. Like, actually see how it plays out. Because I was so mad at some of the things they did in Last Jedi. Yeah. But knowing how it turns out in Rise, maybe I won't have that anger.
Yeah.
You know?
Because my wife, being the good wife that she is, she binge watched the whole series from 1 to 9, to 7, no, to 8 before we went to go watch it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She was able to get it done?
Yeah, like it took her like a month, but so I watched The Last Jedi with her.
Nice. Yeah, my son, he rewatched everything, and he watched them in like a 3-day span. He was just like one right after another.
Like at the end of the day, I just kind of feel like this ending kind of did like a disservice to Anakin.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. They took his name.
I know. Well, that was weird. So at the very end of the movie, she's just like chilling on the planet, like, and some rando old lady comes by and she's like, "What's your name? What's your last name?" Like, so serious. Like, what do you need to know all that for? And she's like, Skywalker.
It's like what right does she have to like call herself a Skywalker? Like,
all I can assume is she's almost like adopted into the Force by Luke and Leia.
Right.
Because they kind of brought her in that way versus her disgusting Palpatine genes.
Yeah. Because, we found out in that movie that Leia, she's like a trained Jedi too.
Yeah, apparently she had done a whole bunch of training after the fact.
Yeah. And then she was like Rey's master because she called her master. So.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that. But yeah, it was weird how she's all of a sudden a Skywalker. And the way they set up it, there's clearly going to be more.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be the Rey Skywalker series.
Yeah. If only Anakin knew how to force heal in part 3, he could have healed Padme and, never, all of this could have happened,
That's a fantastic point. Yeah. If force healing was just a thing you could do, he could have force healed her from the beginning and then he would never turn bad.
Yeah.
He went and killed a bunch of little Padmes or where the hell they were called.
And then, like, Palpatine wouldn't have to be like, no, you need to turn dark to bring people back to life.
Right.
It's like, I could just force heal.
Yeah. It was there's some weird things that happened with the whole timeline, but overall I think that the Star Wars series was pretty good.
Yeah, I still like it. At the end of the day, I still like it. It's very enjoyable.
Yeah. Me too. So I think this is a perfect time to maybe take a quick commercial break, and then we'll jump in with the healthy stream.
Yeah, a lot of Star Wars stuff.
All right, let's go. All right, welcome back, everybody. I had a fun fact that I actually thought of during the break that I forgot to talk about. I saw this on the interwebs. Do you remember in the last episode of The Mandalorian, there were like an absolute ton of stormtroopers? I read that they didn't actually have enough costumes for all the stormtroopers that they needed in the scene. So Jon Favreau and the director Dave Filoni, or the producer Dave Filoni, enlisted the help of the local 501 Legion chapter of Star Wars fans, and had them show up and wear their costumes that they wear to cosplay in.
The cosplay costume was in there?
Yeah. So the local chapter, the 501 First Legion chapter, compromised the fans with their own costumes, came to support and filled in all the extra spots.
How cool a black and white do they have, you know?
Oh my god, they've just become the coolest chapter of dorks that dress in costumes ever, right?
They probably didn't get paid.
No, I mean they just did it out of the, like, holy shit, we got to be on the TV show, and like, can you imagine you're into it enough that you're dressing up like a stormtrooper for whatever reason, anyways.
Yeah.
And you get the call one day and say, hey, we need you to be in the real Star Wars. You'd lose your mind.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sign me up. So I just thought that was a really cool fact that I meant to bring up earlier and totally forgot.
Yeah, fun fact.
Yeah, that was a real fun fact. So I want to kind of move into streaming, or the healthy stream. I saw a news, since we were already kind of on Disney Plus with The Mandalorian. I'm always looking to see what kind of new shows these guys are coming out with. And I saw this new show. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for this yet. It's called Timmy Failure, Mistakes Were Made.
No. So, on Disney Plus?
On Disney Plus.
No, I haven't.
And so Timmy Failure is the kid's name. So his last name just happens to be, you're a failure.
Yeah.
But
is it spelled that way or no?
Yes. It's spelled exactly the same way. And the subtitle is called Mistakes Were Made because it's like his catchphrase.
Right.
So I watched the trailer, and it stars this kid. He must be like, I don't know, 7 or 8. Not very old.
This is live action?
Live action.
Okay.
And he's, as far as I can tell from the trailer, he's got like a big imagination. He lives with a single mom who's, struggling just to get along.
Right.
And so Timmy starts his own like detective agency. He's almost like Detective Pikachu.
Right.
And so 8-year-old Timmy's like finding things like crimes he needs to solve and trying to solve them. And they don't really tell you for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's all part of his imagination. His partner, as part of his detective agency, is a 600-pound polar bear.
Okay.
And so Timmy Failure, he goes around with his 600-pound polar bear. Nobody believes him that these things are happening, but he gets in all these misadventures and things. And then as people are questioning, they're like, Timmy, you burned down the house, or Timmy, you broke the car, or Timmy, you did this and that. And he just goes, mistakes were made. And then he moves on.
That's his catchline.
Yeah, that's like his catchline.
Yeah.
So I just thought it's clearly a show for the whole family.
Yeah.
And it may be dumb as all get out. But it just cracked me up that they're building a show called Timmy Failure, Mistakes Were Made. So I would recommend anybody that has Disney Plus to go and watch the trailer for that. I think it comes out in a couple months.
Well, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it looks kind of funny. Moving over to our friends over at Apple TV. I'm almost finished with The Servant. Are you all caught up?
Yeah. I'm waiting for tomorrow's episode.
Is that the last episode?
Maybe.
Or is there 2 more?
I think there's like 8, right?
Is it 8 or 10?
Oh, is it 10?
Yeah, I think
maybe 10. I
think maybe the next episode's 9, then 10.
Yeah.
I don't know, but without giving too much away and spend too much time on any one show, what do you think about The Servant? Do you still like it?
Yeah, I hate it.
You hate it in a good way?
I hate it in a good way because I feel like it's a show that should have just been released all
once.
Together,
you don't like waiting.
I hate waiting for this. Like for Mandalorian,
yeah.
I could wait for it because I enjoy it. But this one's like, just tell me what happened. I just need to know the end. Like
you're like, give me the answer. So let's take the time right now. So anybody who's ever seen The Servant or haven't seen The Servant, the basic premise is really simple. We've talked about it a little bit before. The couple, a husband and a wife. The wife is a news anchor. I'm not even an anchor, like a roaming news reporter.
Oh, yeah.
The husband is some sort of like at-home chef that makes fancy catering type meals. They try to have a lot of babies, end up losing a baby. We don't know why, how the baby died yet. That's the big mystery.
Yeah.
The mom goes into some sort of shock, and to get her out of it, they end up getting her this fake baby doll that's supposed to help her kind of get past it.
Yeah.
She doesn't, because she's like totally loony. And then along the process, they hire some sort of weird lady to come like watch their fake baby. That like one episode in turns into a real baby mysteriously.
Yeah.
So our two big mysteries are, how did the baby die, and where the hell did this new other baby come from, and is there magic actually happening? Because it seems like there's some magical stuff, but we don't know. If you were to guess right now, because I think the most irritating part of this is not that it's released for me once a week, is that I read that it's freaking 60 episodes long.
So is it going to be new parents every season? Or?
God, I really hope that it's like something new every season. Because if it's going to take 60 hours to tell me the story, I don't know if I can hang in there.
Okay, what if I tell you that this show wasn't written by M. Night Shyamalan? Yeah. Would you be like thinking about twists and turns at all, or are you just gonna watch it straight?
Probably I'd watch it straight. I think that the fact that we know that M. Night's part of it makes you think, okay, where's the twist?
Yeah.
So let me ask you, with what you've seen up to episode 7 or 8, wherever we're at, what's the twist? Best guess.
Dude,
come on.
I feel like it's gonna be a normal show. Like I feel like they kind of show you that there's some supernatural stuff going on, but I don't know, man. It's just like crazy family keeping secrets.
Yeah, I think you're right. So I'm kind of on the same line where all the stuff that they're trying to make us feel is supernatural is just happenstance.
Yeah.
So like he starts getting all the weird splinters. Maybe he's just getting weird splinters. He even says himself it's an old house. Or the scene where the baby keeps turning into a doll is this lady. She's switching them. There's something weird going on.
Yeah.
So my theory right now is the husband, the wife, and the Harry Potter brother, Ron Weasley himself, they were doing something. They admitted earlier in the season that Harry Potter's brother had kind of a coke habit or something.
Yeah.
And so maybe they were inebriated, they're having a good time, and they accidentally kill the baby, the three of them.
Yeah.
She becomes fully traumatized. They go into straight up hide the evidence mode. And like the one scene where the floor cracks, and you're thinking, oh my God, this is mysterious. I'm thinking they buried the baby in the bottom of their house.
Yeah, because they make it seem kind of like where she could like make the doll like live or dead. Right. You know, is she some kind of a witch or something, or demon?
That's what they want you to think, because she's this weird religious chick.
Yeah, and then like the floor cracks. Does that mean that, you know, she's like the devil or some shit like that? I don't know.
And her uncle comes to visit, and he's weird as balls, and he's like sleeping in the crib, and it almost seems as if he turns into a dog.
Yeah, dog dies or something, and then she like resurrects the dog.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
There's no way to know what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
but I think I'm with you. I think that those are all to fool us. I think all these things are happening, and it's going to be out totally normal. And they're the people that have brought her in are the bad people, and the good little girl's like the good one.
Yeah.
And she's just like a decent religious person. It's almost like it's showing us like, oh, you're persecuting these people for being religious, and she didn't do anything yet. She hasn't done anything wrong.
So you're saying the twist is that
she's not bad.
Yeah.
Because they're totally setting up to be like she's freaking weird as hell, but it's not her.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the twist.
It's actually the family.
But if it takes 60 goddamn episodes for us to learn, dude. I won't be able to hang.
I'm hoping M. Night gets like 6 different stories in 6 seasons.
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. So if it's 1 or 2 episodes more, I hope that they resolve it.
Yeah.
Or at best take 1 more season, because if they try to make me watch this thing for 60 episodes, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, season 2 is like them explaining how baby died.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yeah, that's The Servant. I still like it. It's still weird enough that I'm gonna keep watching it. But yeah, if it goes on too long, I'm done.
Well, I'm only watching it because it got like my wife's attention.
Yeah, my wife likes it too.
Damn, I don't know. It keeps them like wanting to know more. That's probably why.
They're more maybe into intrigue. We're more into like sci-fi fiction.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So staying on our Apple TV friends, they have I saw a trailer. In fact, I asked you to watch it this morning. A brand new show that's being written and produced by Rob McElhenney. He's the guy that co-created It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is a really funny show, but it's also kind of hit and miss. Like sometimes it just absolutely kills me, and sometimes it's like, oh my god, that's just gross. But he's got a brand new show on Apple TV coming out. It looks kind of funny, and I thought it looked funny. I don't know what your thoughts, but it's called Mythic Quest: The Ravens Banquet. Yeah, Mythic Quest: The Ravens Banquet is the name of it.
It's funny because like I was scrolling through my socials and I saw this video playing. Yeah, like that Mythic Quest, and like, man, they got trashy ass game footage. What the hell is this? And it's like Apple. Like, wait, is Apple making games now? What the hell's going on?
You thought it was like a real Apple game?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is trash.
Yeah, that show looks pretty good. So the basic concept, from what I can tell in the trailer, is Rob is a game designer of some sort, and he's made his own video game, and so he's decided to make the main character kind of based on him, but it's like one of these standardized, almost Game of Thrones type video games, a Witcher game almost, where he's running around.
Hey, The Witcher's really good. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's on my next when we move over to Netflix.
Oh.
That sort of thing. And it's full of a lot of really good actors. It's got Abu from Abed.
Abu's from Aladdin.
Or I was thinking maybe, isn't Abu also the name of the dude on Simpsons? The guy that runs the Quickie Mart?
No, that's Apu.
God damn it. White guy racism, right? Abed from Community is one of the co-stars, and a bunch of other people that I definitely recognize from other sitcom-y type stuff, or they're comedians, that kind of thing. So it looks like it's loaded, and it starts on February 7th, so it's not too long before it comes out.
Yeah.
So it's pretty smart. I wonder if that one also will be a once-a-week type deal.
I feel like they're all going to be like that.
On Apple TV.
There's not enough shows for Apple to like keep going.
Yeah, because they got like 4 shows.
Yeah.
And I still recommend people don't spend money on Apple TV. No. If you were like looking like, oh man, they talked about Servant, this Mythic Quest thing, I'm gonna go drop money on. Don't do it.
If Servant ends at a cliffhanger, I'm canceling Apple TV.
Yeah, we're both only watching because we got a year free.
Yeah, correct.
So I would not be paying for any of it. But at least they're coming out with some new stuff. Yeah. So C was whatever. Servant is kind of whatever. Hopefully this Mythic Quest show will be funny and something new. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, speaking of The Witcher, we jump over to Netflix. Well, I really like the conclusion of The Witcher TV show.
Dude, I got obsessed after watching it. Yeah,
I almost feel like, so for me, I don't know about everybody else, the first 4 or 5 episodes of The Witcher, I was confused. I was having a hard time because they don't tell you the jump storyline, timelines.
I thought it was a linear time. Just keep going. Like once I saw the queen come back to life, I'm like,
you're like, what the hell?
What the hell? I thought she was dead. We saw her die.
Yeah.
Like, that's when I knew, oh shit, it's freaking time jumping.
That would be my only. So if you haven't seen The Witcher yet, when you watch it, just know there are 3 main characters. Yeah. There's The Witcher himself.
Geralt.
Yep, Geralt of Rivia, whatever his name is. There is Yennefer, the mage.
Yeah.
And then there is the little princess.
Ciri?
Ciri the princess.
Yeah.
So those are your 3 main characters. So I think it's fair to note that when you're watching the show, and it'll make it way easier if you know this ahead of time, that when you see any of the 3 of them, they're not necessarily within the same timeline.
Yeah, no, they're all different.
Yeah, and at the very end, they kind of all converge.
Yeah.
But I actually watched a video with the producer of this show. It's actually a female producer, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That it's kind of a male-oriented genre, and you got a female producing it. I think that helps the show quite a bit, honestly, with the tone and whatnot. But she was saying that they wanted to base it off the first original Witcher short stories this Polish author had written.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Yeah. But if she followed the timeline of the stories, you wouldn't see all of the characters in the first season.
Right.
And she wanted to introduce the TV fans right away to everybody. And so that was kind of their unique way of doing it. And by the time you get to the end, it makes so much sense. But when you're going through it, it's confusing.
Because like episode 1, it goes episode 1 and then episode 7 and 8.
Yeah.
It's the same timeline continuation.
Yeah.
And everything in between is kind of like jumping all over the place.
Yeah, and it makes it was like I was so confused. I'm like, and then I'd heard along the way that there was timeline jumping, so I was trying to figure out, which made me more confused because I still didn't quite understand.
Yeah,
because they always look the same. Every damn timeline looks the same. Like The Witcher doesn't seem to really age too much, and so it made it hard.
Yennefer doesn't age too.
Like, Yennefer's not aging, and the little girl's just maybe the only contemporary timeline.
Yeah,
and so it made it kind of tricky.
Because I think at the very beginning and series timeline is like present day Witcher timeline.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But I like the show. I like the actors. I like the effects. I like the whole feel of it. It's got a little bit more humor than Game of Thrones had. Yeah. I'm still not one of our coworkers had the balls to say to me that he likes it better than Game of Thrones, and I about throat punched him. Because like I admit that the last season of Game of Thrones sucked. We all know that.
Yeah.
But the first 7 seasons of Game of Thrones built so much credit with me that it's still one of my all-time favorites. Yeah. And I really like The Witcher, but it's not the same.
Yeah, because like Game of Thrones, you remember last season and it has like a sour taste in your mouth. So you're like, it sucks.
It's not fair. So The Witcher first season is better than Game of Thrones final season, but not better than the show in general. No way. And so, The Witcher... I really enjoyed it. I like the side characters. I like the bard guy that sings his, throw a coin to the Witcher.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the main characters too.
Is he a main?
Yeah, he's a main.
So I've never played the video game. How closely does this follow the video game?
Well, the video game is actually a like unofficial sequel to the book.
Oh, okay.
So the show is based on the books, and so it doesn't follow the game at all because the game is a sequel.
So maybe season 2 we'll see some of the game stuff.
No. Because this season was only based on the first 2 books that came out.
Yeah.
And then there's like more books in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's quite a few books now because I had read that the original Polish author had written a handful of books and it was successful, that the publisher had hired actually other fantasy authors to come in and write other books that followed all sorts of different characters in the realm.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that happens in a lot of characters. Because like at the very end of the book, that's where the game starts.
Got it. So what do you think is more likely? Do you think that the show will eventually copy some of the game's storyline, or do you think that they'll put out a new game that's based off of the TV show that follows that storyline?
It'd be cool to be the game to go back to the books because it'll be like a prequel to the games, right?
And that's not unheard of. They've done that with games.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that with Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Assassin's Creed jump all over the place.
Okay.
Because in the Witcher there's 3 games, 1, 2, and 3.
Uh-huh.
So it has to go way back to the beginning to do a prequel.
Does The Witcher play kind of like Assassin's Creed?
It's more because Assassin's Creed is not as open world as The Witcher and
The Witcher is like the GTA of like castles.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you make a lot of choices, and the choices you make makes the story different too. Like,
so is there a couple ways to play The Witcher? Can you play like through the story, or can you bail on it and just like run around and act a fool?
You do that, but it won't get you anywhere.
That's how I used to always play. Yeah. Like I'm the kind of guy that I have no attention span, and so when I'd play GTA, I'd play like 2 missions, get bored, and then just run around and like attack people.
Because like the game part 3 is probably one of the best games ever made. I bought it back in because I was looking at my last save game, right? And it was like in 2017. And so after watching this show, I got back to my game and started playing again.
Nice. So
because I never finished it.
So the show got you excited to go back and play the game?
Yeah.
That's genius. I mean, they're making money left and right. Good for these guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. It was a great show. I really enjoyed it from start to finish. So I recommend anybody to watch The Witcher. If you haven't seen it, like I said, definitely know that it does jump timelines. Those are the 3 main characters.
Because a lot of people say, I can't really get into it. And then because they didn't really invest like at least 4 episodes in.
You have to go 4 episodes. You have to watch half of it.
Or at least that it's, time jumping.
Yeah, maybe if you know the character thing, that might help. I personally, if I was them, I would have just time-stamped each timeline so you knew what the hell was going on. Yeah. But whatever, it is what it is.
I mean, like the end of like episode 1 where Geralt fights. Man, that was a badass fight scene.
Well, that's just it. Each episode almost stands on its own anyways.
Yeah.
It has good fight scenes, has lots of funny parts, has lots of hot topless chicks.
Oh, yeah. You see a lot of orgies.
Yeah, there's lots. If you like nudity, it's great. It's great. So it's got a little bit of everything. That Yennefer actress is even after she gets converted from being kind of like the Hunchback of Notre Dame to being the sorceress lady.
Yeah.
She like some scenes I think they do really. We were talking about earlier where she's supposed to come off as like powerful and like kind of scary.
Yeah.
She looks like a smoking hot. You're like, wow, I'm down for Yennefer. Let's go.
Like that one scene where Geralt walks through that whole orgy and sees her for the first time. Like,
yes.
And she's like a goddess. Like,
yeah, you're like, damn, I'm in love. But then there's scenes where it's kind of not going so well for Yennefer, and she kind of like looks a little fugly, and you're like, oh, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Beer goggles, no beer goggles. But yeah, I mean, I like that show.
Yeah, because like if you look at it, there's a lot of details. Like for example, one scene at the beginning where he's like getting the herbs and making it.
Yeah,
you do that in the game all the time. Making your own like potions and herbs and stuff like that. So.
Well, I've never played the game, but I saw on the internet a lot of people talking about how the bathtub scene is apparently really popular in the game.
Oh yeah,
like, oh yeah, The Witcher's in a bathtub. I'm like, if I'd never read that, no one ever said that to me, I would never even thought twice about it.
Yeah, because if you look at like the game screenshots, it's always Geralt in the bathtub.
Really?
Like,
why?
I don't know. He's hot, I guess.
He's the cleanest killer ever. He's got soap up after he's done like cutting monsters apart.
Yeah, like my wife, she's a huge fan of Henry Cavill. And every time he's on screen, which is like all the time, all I hear is like, he's so hot every damn time. And then like when his shirt's off, and then
it's like it's even more. Yeah, shirtless. Well, I what I like about The Witcher 2 and Henry Cavill is it made me really like him as an actor, because the way they portrayed him as Superman. Yeah, I didn't like his Superman at all. I'm like, oh, this guy's lame. He's lamer than Captain America.
Yeah, because there's no like emotions to him,
Yeah. So yeah, no, it is good. I like The Witcher and everything they've done with it so far. So I'm super stoked for season 2.
Yeah, this year.
Is it this year?
I think so.
Hot damn!
It was I think it's the end of the year.
Let's go. This is the kind of show, honestly, and they talk about this with TV shows all the time. If they wanted to give us a handful of seasons and then put out a movie that I had to pay to go see in the theater, I would.
Yeah.
That's how excited I am.
Dude, aren't you glad they didn't like do weekly?
Yeah.
Dude, that would have messed me up so much with the time jump. Like,
what the hell? You would forget. What the hell's
going on,
Yeah, you would totally forget. Yeah, no, The Witcher is great. And I see now why Netflix, people are like, why is Netflix so excited about it? They renewed it before it was even released.
Yeah.
So, hot damn, we're getting some more Witcher. All right, so also on Netflix, we talked a lot about a couple episodes ago about Lock and Key.
Yeah.
And my ghosty spiritual pants were totally tight for Lock and Key because I'd read the graphic novel and it was really dark and demented and I was so excited for it.
Yeah, the trailer came out.
Yeah. Watched the trailer. It looks good, but it doesn't look quite as dark and gritty as I'd hoped. What do you think? Because
after you told me, I was kind of like on the lookout for it.
Yeah.
And I watched it. I'm like, you're right. It looks more like family-oriented show, like Goosebump in a way.
I don't know if it's Goosebumpy, but it may be more Stranger Thing.
Yeah.
I think that Netflix probably said, we don't want to have this show be too adult. It's probably like 13 and up.
Yeah.
That kind of like a PG-13 type show.
I think the reason is the music that went along with it. It was too like, holiday music. Like, yeah.
And it could almost just be that the trailer is not a great edit, right?
Yeah,
so maybe the show is still more dark and gritty.
Yeah.
Because like I said before, the graphic novel is dark and gritty. Bad things happen. Bad things happen to the mom. The dad gets killed. All sorts of stuff. I don't want to ruin the show if people haven't seen it. But I'm still excited. This actually, we were talking about this earlier today. That Mythic Quest show on Apple TV comes out on February 7th.
Yeah.
That's the exact date when Lock and Key comes on Netflix. So there's a little competition going on.
Well, the got me interested in the Lock and Key is they showcase a lot of keys.
Yeah.
And I'm always up for adventure.
And each key leads to some sort of new thing.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that.
And there's a bad entity that's trying to collect all the keys. Yeah. So, the plot of it is perfect.
They show you in the trailer.
Yeah, they give you all the details of what's kind of going on. And what was interesting is I've only read the first graphic novel, which we pointed out last episode or the episode before, that you can get that graphic novel. You can download it for free on Amazon Prime. So I would highly recommend it. Everything I saw in that trailer happens in that first issue, in that first graphic novel.
Okay.
So there's still a lot that I haven't seen because there's a shit ton of these books that I haven't read yet. But so Lock and Key looks pretty good. I'm hoping that it's a little bit grittier than the trailer made it out to be. Seeing as you've only seen the Lock and Key trailer and the Mythic Quest trailer and have no other experience with either show, which trailer makes you more excited?
Lock and Key.
Okay, cool.
Even though I'm a big video game person.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was more like comedy for me in that show.
Oh, well, you don't like comedy?
I like comedy, but for me, I like more of the fake stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fiction stuff.
Right. What's your favorite, just really off topic, favorite comedy television show?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Nice. That's a good choice. Yeah. That's an awesome choice.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite is Arrested Development.
Oh, yeah.
Only first 3 seasons, not the Netflix crap.
Yeah.
Netflix crap's fine, whatever. But the first 3 seasons.
That's my top 5 too.
Okay. Yeah. And then last but not least on Netflix, I saw a teaser for Bright Part 2. You remember that? Remember that movie? I can't believe it got renewed. I honestly can't believe they made a sequel to it. It must not cost a bunch of money.
Well, the thing is, like, it got really bad critic reviews.
Yeah, but it was fun.
There's a shitload of audience watching it.
Yeah.
And Netflix like, yo, let's do it, man.
Yeah, so anybody out there that has Netflix and you're just bored and you haven't seen the movie Bright yet, it stars Will Smith.
Is he back in part 2?
Yes. Yeah. So in the teaser that I saw, it's almost a play on itself. It shows, those weird orc guys?
Yeah.
It shows a bunch of orc guys auditioning for roles to be on Bright Part 2.
What?
But they're excited to work with Will Smith. So I know Will Smith's going to be because that's a bunch of like, oh man, it's guys like dressed like orcs and they're like, oh, I'm so excited to be in Part 2. I've always wanted to work with Will Smith. He's like a hero of mine. And so I'm kind of keen on it.
I kind of wish they made this to be like a series.
It would be a good series.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if when you break down a show like that or a movie into a series, if you had to pay the star a name as big as Will Smith, way more
that's
money.
probably why.
Yeah.
Because like in part 1, when they pan out to like the big city, you freaking see dragons in the back.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? What world do we live in?
Yeah, so anybody who hasn't seen Bright, the basic concept of it was it looks like outside. Like if you were to go into Los Angeles today, but it just happens that Los Angeles today in this version has like fairies,
elves,
and orcs, and dragons, and all the kind of like mystical stuff that you normally don't put in today's day and age. And they got jobs. Like Will Smith is a police officer and his co-officer is an orc is what they call him, which is kind of like I don't know, ogre type monster, like troll living under the bridge kind of guy. So yeah, that was kind of my last Netflixy thing, but I think that looks pretty fun too. I don't really have anything for Hulu and Prime on this version of the Healthy Stream, so I want to move on to the news jacuzzi. The news jacuzzi, I got some fun things based on kind of things we've seen from lists that have come out as the end of the year.
Was this the threesome tease?
Well, the threesome tease is, yes, part of the news jacuzzi.
Yeah.
But I want to start with some lists because you know me. I don't know if I've mentioned 100,000 times before. I enjoy lists.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Netflix and Apple TV and all the streaming companies. Well, Netflix released its top 10 most popular releases of 2019. And this had both their movies, or not even movies they made, but just things that were streamed the most.
Right.
So you want to, without looking at my screen, care to guess what the most streamed movie and or TV show was on Netflix?
The Witcher.
No.
What?
No. So here we're gonna have fun. We're gonna start with number 10. The number 10. I don't know if you saw this. I started watching. I actually got bored. The number 10 most streamed piece of media on Netflix for 2019 was The Highwaymen. Did you see any of that?
The hell is that?
It's like set in like the 40s or 50s, and it's got like Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner in it.
Oh, I think I've seen like a thumbnail of it. I didn't watch it.
I started to watch it. I really tried. I think it was episodes too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I got bored as hell and turned it off. The number 9 most streamed piece of media on Netflix was The Umbrella Academy.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that. So that
was last year?
Yeah, that was 2019. So I would guess that if you're in the top 10, you're probably doing pretty good. You're going to get renewed, maybe a sequel.
You don't get canceled.
So I'm hoping that means we'll get Umbrella Academy Part 2 because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, totally.
Season 2.
Number 8 was called Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile. And I think that was one of those shows that featured like a serial killer. I think.
Oh, maybe.
I'm not into that kind of stuff, so I didn't watch it.
Like a lot of serial killer documentary stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just, pass over it. It's too real for me.
Me too. Number 7 was a movie called Triple Frontier. Did you watch that?
Triple Frontier.
That was the one that had Ben Affleck.
Oh, no.
That movie was
Poe Dameron?
Yeah, Poe Dameron. Yeah. It actually had like all good actors.
Yeah.
It definitely was a movie that felt like it went straight to streaming. Kind of like in the old... Back in my day, if a good movie wasn't good enough for the theater, it went straight to video.
Yeah.
Now it goes straight to streaming. It felt like a movie that meant to go straight to streaming. There's no way it would have made any money in the theater. But if you're like super bored, it's not bad.
You watched it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I watched it all by myself one day. I think the fam was doing something else that I didn't want to participate in. I don't know. But I stayed at home and watched it. So
Nice.
Triple Frontier, fine, whatever. This is kind of upsetting how low it is, even though it is top 10. But number 6 is The Witcher.
Oh, it's because you didn't have the whole
first 4.
You didn't have the whole year to watch
Digest it.
Yeah, it just came out, so not a lot of people are like.
That's actually a really good point, because if they're talking about the most popular releases and how much they were streamed, it didn't have as much time to get streamed.
Yeah, I mean, if you say it made number 6, that's a lot of stream.
Yeah, right? For coming out in like December.
Yeah,
maybe if it had come out in January of last year, it would be the most streamed show.
Right.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
You make me feel better about it.
That's my number 1.
Thank you. Number 5, I'm actually going to watch this weekend. My wife said, you know what we need to watch? And I don't know who's telling her she wants to watch this, but it was the movie The Irishman.
Oh, the one that's all CG faced?
Are they CG'd? Yeah. Well, maybe they make them younger or something?
Yeah.
Because that's the Martin Scorsese movie. Mr. Martin Scorsese, who hates Marvel. But he's a fantastic director. I've heard it's kind of long and a little slow, but really well done.
Yeah.
It's winning awards. I saw that.
Oh, okay.
It's got Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, all those guys, right? So number 5 was The Irishman. Number 4 was the first one. In fact, I'm looking at this list, might be the only one on here that wasn't made just for the streaming service. The Incredibles Part 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
So good thing they got those streams in, because that's moved over to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Good for you, Netflix. Hot diggity. Number 3 was a newer movie, which is pretty good on its part that it's had so many streams. I haven't watched it yet, but I probably will. 6 Underground. Have you watched that one yet? The one with Ryan Reynolds?
Oh, no. I started to, but then I stopped. I don't know. We got busy.
Oh, not because it was stupid?
No.
Well, I've heard it's stupid, but not because you were like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. I mean, I'll get around to it, but I just haven't got a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah. No, I'll watch it just because Ryan Reynolds has a lot of credit with me because of Deadpool alone.
Yeah.
So I'll watch pretty much anything.
What number was that?
Number 3.
So wow.
6 Underground. That's pretty good.
Pretty high. Yeah.
Yeah. So 6 Underground was the third most streamed piece of media on Netflix, which it's got to be all Ryan Reynolds, because no one gives a shit about Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Michael Bay is like that.
He should just stick to like making trailers.
Number 2 is what I would have guessed for number 1. You guessed The Witcher. If this had been my game before I saw the list, in my mind I'd guess Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So Stranger Things season 3 was the second most streamed item on Netflix.
Yeah, I think Stranger Things should be on the top 10 every year.
I would imagine, because people really like it.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about how I think both of us agree that Stranger Things has gotten a little worse each season. No season has been bad.
Right.
So season 1 was spectacular. It was fantastic. And then it went from spectacular to amazing. And then it's gone from amazing to great. Probably next season will be good. And as soon as it goes to poor, we'll be like, okay, I'm done.
I mean, you're still gonna watch it.
Probably.
Because we're all
just like Game of Thrones. It earned enough credit that I'll sit through it till it's over.
So number 1, is it a Netflix original or no?
Yes. So number 1, maybe you can guess it if I give you a couple hints. Number 1 is a Netflix original movie. Yeah. It got a lot of hype. I've never actually watched it because I thought it looked kind of dumb, but maybe I will now.
Is it one of those holiday movies?
No, not a holiday movie. But so if you remember, an actor had signed a 6-movie deal with Netflix, and they made basically 6 really dorky, dumb movies.
Marlon Wayans?
No, well, he's also done that. No, the movie I'm talking about is Murder Mystery, starring Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie?
I saw that one.
Oh, you did? Was it good?
Yeah, I liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
So, okay, let's talk about this for a second. I need to find your Adam Sandler rating scale, because I'm a little bit harder on Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler he's like Game of Thrones to me. The early Adam Sandler was like the first few seasons, and the Adam Sandler recently has been like the last season of Game of Thrones, other than maybe excluding this Uncut Gems movie that's supposed to be super dope. Happy Gilmore, good or bad?
Good.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
We're finding your scale. Jack and Jill, good or bad?
Bad.
Waterboy, good or bad?
Good.
Big Daddy, good or bad?
That one's okay, I guess.
So you're telling me that Murder Mystery is better than Good Big Daddy?
It's about Murder Mystery's like mid Adam Sandler.
Okay, because your scale seemed pretty decent to me. Because everybody, I think, would agree that Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, because I watched it, I enjoyed it. So I mean, it's Adam Sandler being Adam Sandler.
All right, well, I'm gonna give it a chance now because I've never seen it, and the reason I never saw it is because I thought, well, that looks stupid.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
So I've heard that it's done so well for Netflix that they're actually making a sequel.
What?
Yeah. God. I never saw how it ended, so I wasn't sure if it was sequel ready.
I forgot how it ended.
Because it was that good of a movie.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to my second list is Billboard put out their top 10s of the decade. And I'm only going to go over 2 of the lists because they have a top 10 for country, they have a top 10 for soul music, jazz, all sorts of crap I don't listen to.
So what again?
So the top 10 rock songs of the decade is the one I think frustrated me the most. I mean, this is not the last. This isn't for 2019. This is for the last 10 freaking years. The top 10 freaking rock songs, and I don't know when rock decided. To me, the songs on here are alternative at best. I would even go as far to say they're pop alternative.
Is Post Malone on that list?
No.
Okay.
But he made the other list that I was going to read.
Yeah.
So the top 10 rock songs of the decade, number 10.
I'm not even going to guess.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and make a guess. Because if you're thinking, like, a traditional person is thinking rock music, you're thinking rock music.
Yeah.
This group is a really good alternative group. Fantastic. In fact, I would look on here and say most of these groups are really good. None of them are bad. But what we qualify as rock anymore is just crazy to me. So number 10 rock song was Stressed Out by the 21 Pilots. Now,
that's a rock song?
No, it's an alternative song at best.
No way.
21 Pilots is pop alternative, but I will admit that 21 Pilots is one of my favorite pop alternative bands.
Yeah.
If you said, maybe I'm being too specific in the category, if you said, what is 21 Pilots, don't call them pop alternative, I've said they're my favorite alternative band.
Yeah. For me, they're alternative.
Yeah, they're alternative to rock.
Yeah.
Because they got lots of like hooky melodies, they have lots of synthesizers. There's no such thing as synthesizer in rock music.
Yeah.
So, but I love me some 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots and one other band dominate this list, by the way. And this is for the entire decade. You're telling
years?
me? Yeah, 10 years of music.
Wait, but 21 Pilots wasn't even like around 10 years ago.
Yeah. So the way the Billboard came up with how they listed this song is based on how long each song held the number one position on the list. Okay. So in 10 years, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. In 10 years, only 4 bands managed to hold the top position the most. It's like, what's going on, everybody else?
Bands?
Yeah. 21 Pilots, the Imagine Dragons. If you're telling me that's rock music, I'm gonna kick you in the nards. Panic at the Disco, and the Lumineers. And Walk the Moon.
Well, Lumineers more like folky.
Yeah, they're folk music.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I mean, what was it? Panic at the Disco?
Yeah, so 21 Pilots, Portugal the Man.
That's alternative.
And I like them. Portugal the Man is actually from beautiful Portland, Oregon. Just so everybody notes, I actually have like a sort of relation with the drummer. Know him, sort of, kind of.
I saw him live once.
Had a beer with him once. That's about it.
I saw them live once for free.
Yeah, they played. Yeah, for a pet. So it was some sort of pet charity.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna just burn through this list really quick.
Yeah.
So number 10 is Stressed Out by 21 Pilots. Number 9 is Ride by 21 Pilots. Number 8 is Feel It Steel by Portugal the Man. Great song. Number 7 is Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon. Terrible song. Number 6 is Heathens by 21 Pilots. Number 5 is Ho Hey by the Lumineers. Great song. Number 4 is High Hopes by Panic at the Disco. I don't like Panic at the Disco, so whatever. Number 3 is Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. Number 2 is Thunder by Imagine Dragons. And number 1 is Believer by goddamn Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons are fine, but this is the kind of crap they play in front of like a football game, like so everybody can feel comfortable. It pisses me off.
That is not rock, man.
No, it just pisses me off.
What happened to like 80s rock, dude?
I don't know. What happened to the 90s rock even?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, where is like Stone Temple Pilots? Where is like real rock music? Makes me mad. Okay, jumping over to like the hip hop kind of R&B list. I think this list makes a little bit more sense. So this has got rap music on it. It's got kind of hip hop music on it.
Yeah.
The number 10 song of the decade was "God's Plan" by Drake.
Okay, yeah,
cool. I like it. Number 9 was "Happy" by Pharrell Williams.
Yeah.
Number 8 was "Sicko Mode" by Travis Scott. Number 7 was "One Dance" by Drake featuring Wizkid and Kyla, whoever they are. Number 6 is "Rockstar" by Post Malone. So at least he didn't end up on the rock music. I mean, it had the word rock in it. I thought maybe people would be confused. Number 5 is "The Hills" by The Weeknd.
Okay.
Number 4 is "Sunflower" by Post Malone. That's actually from the amazing film Spider-Verse. And if anybody's listening to this and hasn't seen Spider-Verse, shame on you.
Go watch it.
Open up your Netflix and watch it. Quit listening to the rest of the episode and watch that instead, because that's a fantastic movie. Number 3 is "Blurred Lines" by Robin Thicke. And what's funny about this list is that's the only song that actually feels very old. I mean, you're talking about 10 whole years, and you have to go all the way back to "Blurred Lines" to even get one. That's like the only thing that guy's famous for other than The Masked Singer. Number 2 is "That's What I Like" by Bruno Mars. That's an older song. And number 1 is a little bit older song. This is probably this guy's biggest hit. I've actually seen him live in concert because my daughter wanted to go, and it was pretty good.
Jay-Z?
No, I wanted to say Jay-Z, but I didn't. Only my daughter got to go to that one. Is "Thrift Shop" by Macklemore. So,
number 1?
That's numero uno, which means "Thrift Shop" was on the list for a real long time.
Why is this a decade when all these songs are like the last 3 years? Like,
it's unfortunate. It just means that those were the songs that are getting played. I don't know if maybe the younger generation listens to the same few songs over and over again because there's less albums coming out, less CDs, and it maybe keeps songs in the top 10 longer. And that's what helped them all get there versus the older songs, which didn't get the same play.
Maybe you got to find out when like Spotify got really.
I bet you it would really correlate. I think that's a smart opinion. All right, so moving on to look, I told you I took that picture.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna meme it later. Chu posted this hilarious picture of himself on the social medias that I stole, and I told him I'm determined to meme later. Maybe it'll end up on one of our Facebook or Instagram accounts.
I'm famous.
You're famous. So next on the news, I actually have one I want to sneak in here that's not real news. This is literally fake news.
Fake news?
It was sent to me. Sent to me by a listener. So a listener sent me this, said, "You guys got to talk about this during the news jacuzzi. It's hilarious." And I read it, and I thought, oh my God, this is hilarious. So I'm going to read you the news story before I tell you the research I did.
So one of our Audionots sent you this.
Yes, this was sent to me by an Audionot. Florida couple arrested for selling tickets to heaven. So,
what the hell?
Right away, I'm thinking, okay, this makes sense. Florida Man is like, have you ever played that game, by the way? So during Christmas time, side note, we played a game called Florida Man.
No.
And it's just a game you can play with anybody. So what you do, all you need is an internet connection. And you say, what's your birthday? So what month is your birthday?
Oh, I've seen this go online. Yeah.
January. So you go on there, you type in your exact birth date, and then and then Florida Man, and hit enter, and it'll tell you what crazy ass thing the Florida Man did the day you're born. So it's fantastic. I highly recommend everybody play the Florida Man game. But here we go. So Florida couple arrested for selling tickets to heaven. A couple in Florida, Tito and Amanda Watts, were arrested a few days ago for selling golden tickets to heaven to hundreds of people.
Wow.
They sold the tickets on the street for $99 per ticket, told buyers the tickets were made from solid gold and that each ticket reserved the buyer a spot in heaven. All they had to do was simply present the ticket to the pearly gates and you were in. That's it. Okay. Tito Watts said in his police statement, "I do not care what the police say. The tickets are solid gold, and it was Jesus who gave them to me behind the KFC. He told me to sell them so I could get me some money to go to outer space. I met an alien named Stevie who said if I got the cash together, he would take me and my wife on his flying saucer to the planet that is made entirely of drugs.
Wow.
You should arrest Jesus because he's the one that gave me the golden tickets. I'm willing to wear a wire and set Jesus up." In her police report statement, Amanda Watts said, "We just wanted to leave Earth and go to space and do some drugs. I did not do anything. Tito sold the golden tickets to heaven. I just watched." Police said they confiscated over $10,000 in cash, drug paraphernalia, and a baby alligator. So I read the story and I thought, well, that sounds like something that would happen in Florida. And I went online. I got to see more about this. I want to learn more. I don't want to share this with the Audionots without learning more. And it turns out, fake news. This was created by an Onion type website. It wasn't the Onion specifically. In fact, the worst part about this is this website that created this piece of news, they actually create news to fool people on purpose. They don't, like, the Onion puts it out there as to be funny. These guys put out stuff that's like purposely false just to screw with people. It's like more malicious.
Yeah, right.
So anybody that's seen the Florida couple get arrested for selling tickets to heaven, and there's even a longer version of it, totally fake, amazingly hilarious. Wouldn't be surprised if it still happens someday.
Right.
So
if you said it happened in Florida, you're like, wait.
Yeah, you hear the Florida and you think,
that's probably true.
This is probably true. I don't think they're lying. So, but here is a story that is true, that I kind of teased at the beginning, which is our threesome judge.
Ooh.
You know, it's not like she's judging a threesome. She's not like, I give it a 6.
Oh, was that in contest?
Yeah, you got a bunch of people just like watching a threesome. I give it a 7.5. There's one guy, I give it a 69. Next guy's like, nice. It's not that. Not at all. So this is a judge, a Kentucky judge. She was actually accused of a courthouse threesome. She's recently been suspended. A Kentucky family court judge has been suspended without pay after she's been accused of misconduct, including allegations that she had a threesome in the courthouse.
Whoa, kinky.
Yeah, I mean, judge, jury, and sexecutioner. Just came up with that. That's good, right? Don Gentry, a family court judge in Kenton County in Kentucky's northern 16th Judicial District, was charged with multiple counts of misconduct in November, according to the committee. She's currently on paid suspension. As I kind of like fast forward through this article, she's getting in trouble like all over the place. She used people. She actually paid off people to win her judgeship nomination anyways and be put in the court that she's in.
Yeah.
She has what are the whole things? She has a male lover, and it was her male lover and a third court employee, a woman. So this is not what they call the dirty threesome where it's 2 dudes and a girl. They're engaged in sexual activity inside of the courthouse. She faces a slew of other allegations on top of that. Among them, she took her children to work and allowed them to witness confidential court proceedings. Once her child actually recognized another child that was involved in a confidential course outside of the court and pointed them out to people.
What the heck?
She also, the committee also accused Gentry of false or inaccurate timesheets, allowing people to drink alcohol while at work. This is funny, like the whole threesome thing's pretty amazing, but the people are mad at her. They said that she had actually hired a guitarist to come play guitar in the middle of the office during the day, and it distracted everybody from working.
She's just like a party judge.
Dude, this is like the coolest lady ever. I think everybody's trying to get all mad about it, but can you imagine this Kentucky judge, She's just having a good time. Yeah. She's living life. She's judging people. They said her judgments were always pretty fair and well thought out. Yeah. And she's just getting nasty. I think she should get a TV show. This needs to be like a reality show on Bravo.
Yeah. Wait, is there a photo of her?
Yeah. Here we go. Now, whether this is the real photo of her. Oh, yeah, it is, because there's her name. Her name is Judge Dawn M. Gentry. Oh. And I don't know. Who does she look like? She looks like a mom. She looks older, so she's not...
She's real basic.
Yeah, if you guys the guys out there were fantasizing about like some like smoking hot, like being judge, it's not that. She's definitely not ugly, but she's an older, 40-ish looking, kind of has big ears type lady.
Yeah, who does she look like?
I don't know. Maybe, who she kind of looks like? Is the Malcolm in the Middle mom. Remember her?
Yeah, I think she's a little prettier than her, though.
She's prettier than her? Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So if you're into the Malcolm in the Middle mom, she's hotter than her.
Yeah.
So that's fair. So that was that funny story.
Man, she's down.
She's down to clown. Last but not least, for our news jacuzzi, I was going to talk about 2020 in the future is here, because I've been seeing a lot of stories. I think maybe because everybody thinks they hear 2020 and they think, oh my God, this is the future.
Yeah.
We're in the future. I've been seeing lots of stories about things that are like super futuristic that are available to us now.
Right now.
You go do it right now.
Oh, nice.
One of them that has been really big in the news right now is the flying taxi.
Yeah, I just saw that.
You saw it, right? Yeah, it's funny. You actually brought it up. I'm like, oh, it's going to be on the news.
I knew it. I saw the feature.
Yeah, so they're talking about how, I believe it was in, do you remember what city they said it was in?
No idea. Well,
yeah, originally they'd started doing the flying taxi in Dubai, which was one of the first places that they had had it. And now they've recently expanded. Uber was actually, you can get an Uber flying taxi right now when you're in Dubai.
Well, I saw the photo and it says Hyundai/Uber.
Yeah. And so it says here in this article that the flying taxi makes its U.S. debut in North Carolina, of all places.
Oh, wow.
So apparently, if you want to take maybe a flying taxi from North Carolina to go see the judge in Kentucky, it can be done. Yeah, it could totally be done. But I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, let me ask you this: would you ride in a flying taxi?
Well, not where we live, but if I'm traveling to,
let's say you're in New York.
Yeah, I would totally take a flying taxi.
You wouldn't be scared or nervous?
No. I'll get to my place faster without going through traffic.
It looks pretty neat. They look kind of like drones.
Yeah.
And then what they were saying on the one that they did in North Carolina is the ones that they're showing off are actually unmanned. Would you get an unmanned flying taxi?
I'll wait a few years.
So, yeah, the whole idea is they're trying to work on ones that will fly you from A to B. That it has kind of pre-dialed in destinations.
Yeah, because they have to make a landing spot and all that stuff. Right?
Mm-hmm. And so it'd fly you from A to B and have no pilot. You basically get in, scan your credit card. It's almost like grabbing one of those scooters they have in the streets everywhere.
Yeah, you know how your parents are don't talk to strangers, whatever. Dude, we're letting strangers drive us around
all the time.
And now,
sorry, Mom.
Yeah, pretty soon we're gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be normal.
It's no big deal. Yeah. So yeah, the future is now. Flying taxis exist, and yeah, I think I might try it too. Why not? Right? You only live once. YOLO.
Yeah.
The other thing I saw, in fact, this one is not even a news report. I saw this in real life, and maybe you've seen them, and maybe people won't think this is as cool as I did. I was in the Amazon bookstore. They have one of those in the mall.
Yeah.
And they sell a lot of Bose product. And I was looking at the table of goodies, and they had these Bose sunglasses. Have you seen these?
Mm-mm.
Dude, I am shocked at how good this works.
Try it on?
Yeah, you can try them on. So I put them on. This is me firsthand trying them on. Yeah. So they look like, they're actually pretty stylish. They look like almost like Oakley's or something.
Okay.
Like a standard pair of sunglasses. But when you put them on and you turn up the music, you are the only one that can hear it. But it sounds magnificent.
So it's like noise canceling?
No. There's nothing goes in your ear. Let me try to explain this to you. I'm going to try to verbally explain this to everybody. Imagine sunglasses, and then you've got the part that goes behind your ear, right? Okay. The handle of the sunglass. Yeah. It's a little bit thicker than maybe my standard glasses that I'm wearing right now, but it's not too much thicker. The sound's vibrating out of that to where I can hear it through the backside of my ear like a hearing room. Ren and I have talked about this off mic, where I've said I don't know why they don't make earbuds that are like hearing aids. It must just be too expensive, because hearing aids have the same thing, right? You shove them behind your ear and it helps you hear everything better.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this technology is, dude. I was so amazed. I put them on. It sounded better than my AirPods. It sounded better than my JLabs. It sounded better than most any headphone I've ever had. And if you're sitting right next to me like you are, you wouldn't be able to hear me rocking out to them.
What the heck?
So I highly recommend anybody who has a chance, go out and try them. They have them at least at the Amazon bookstore in the mall. They probably have them at all sorts of different places, maybe a Best Buy type style place. But I've seen Bose actual stores. There's a few Bose stores around. Try on the Bose sunglass headphones.
It doesn't even go in your ear.
No.
You can hear music.
Yeah, you can still talk to me. I can still hear you, but I can still hear the music perfectly fine. If they made just regular glasses that I could hear like that, I'd be wearing them all day. They were like $500.
Damn.
But I think that they're almost worth every penny. You'd be so sad if you lost those. I always lose my sunglasses. Yeah. I'd be devastated.
I'm gonna go to the mall this weekend and try it out.
Yeah, try it out and then come back on the next podcast and tell me if I'm a dumbass. So future is now Bose sunglasses. All right, next, I can't remember. You got to tell me, did we talk about this in one of our first ones, the Bostic Dynamics robot dog? Or did we only talk about that off mic? I honestly can't remember.
Maybe. I have no idea.
So I'm sure everybody's at this point who has the internet is seeing Bostic Dynamics. They make all these crazy robots that are going to take over the future and kill us one day. They have one that has 4 legs, and they call it Spot. They actually give it a cute name. You can purchase it. It's finally available for purchase to anybody.
Wow. Originally,
probably about 8 months ago, you only buy it as a commercial property. But now, if you've got $8,500 or whatever it is, this is the price of a cheap-ass car. You can have your own robot dog. And what they're kind of pushing it for right now is you could do workloads, like it could carry like a heavy package from A to B, or it could be used for security. Like you can mount cameras to it and it can walk around and see stuff. But this thing is about as creepy as it gets.
Yeah, the way it moves.
Yeah, and I can't honestly remember if we talked about it before. You may have mentioned it. I remember when we were talking about it on or off mic that you had said that it reminded you of a Black Mirror episode.
Oh, yeah.
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 So, yeah. If anything reminds you of a Black Mirror episode, stay away. So, future is now. You can buy yourself a robot dog that may eventually kill you. Next, I saw this, and you've probably seen this too. I think it's actually kind of cool. So, all the bigger packaging places, the Amazons, Zappos type shippers of the world, when you buy something from them, they have robots that whiz all around and grab the stuff off the shelves. Well, Walmart has taken that note, and they're introducing this year robots into their stores. Not every store, so your Walmart may or may not have these anytime soon, but they're bringing these robots in the store. So when people place orders online, because they're doing this thing where you can order online, show up, grab your stuff, it shops for you.
Yeah.
So they're introducing into the Walmarts, the ones with people, not like warehouses.
Oh, like actual Walmart?
Actual Walmarts, not Walmart warehouses. Shopping robots. So these robots will whiz around because they apparently can grab the items faster than employees. They'll whip around and grab stuff off the shelves for you, pull it back, prepackage it. So when you just had to drive up to Walmart. Have you ever seen the commercial? They've actually started running the commercials. So some Walmarts have special parking spots up front where you go online, you buy all the crap you want from Walmart rather than going to Walmart, which is a great deal, I think, because Walmart sucks, full of inbreds. You race out to Walmart, and you just pull in the lot, and they bring the shit out to you. Just load it to the back of your car.
Does the robot bring it to you?
Oh, maybe eventually, but right now it's humans that bring it to you. But it used to be because they've been running the whole like bring stuff to you for about a year.
Yeah.
Now the robots will shop for you, package it, and then someone brings it to your car.
So it's like the first step.
Yeah. So the future is now. Walmart has robots. Those are definitely going to take over the world.
Are you sure there aren't people in costume?
Can you imagine? Walmart's just like, we can't afford it. Okay, Greg, you're going to be the robot. Oh man, I was the robot last week. That sucks. All right, and then my last and final news jacuzzi of the episode, and probably the last item we'll talk about before we wrap up, is the deep fake. Now, now I'm not gonna get. See, your face is turning red because Ren and I have talked about the deep fake and off mic and kind of the places we've seen it.
It was your idea to begin with.
Well, yeah, I know it's an amazing idea. So the deep fake, and I'm actually gonna pull up a website I think I had.
Is that a hashtag?
I don't know. So anybody doesn't know the term deep fake, one of the things happening now is they've gotten so good with computer animation and I don't know, technology.
It's kind of like, Snapchat filters.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And that's going to lead into the story that I really want to talk about. Okay. But the deep fake is they're able to fake someone else's face on someone else's body. Kind of like they did in this Rise of Skywalker. When someone dies, they stick a different actor's face, someone's face on a different actor's body.
Yeah, like when the flashback of Leia and Luke training.
Yes.
That was actually her daughter playing her.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a deep fake with Carrie Fisher's face on her daughter's body.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the idea of deep fake. Now, deep fake has extended to all sorts of different fields. I've seen people try to use it to mess with people online with political stuff. Will make it maybe seem as if your favorite president's saying something awful that you didn't expect him to say, because you can see their mouth moving. You can see everything. They can fake the whole damn thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like when Snapchat introduced the face swap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And how realistic that can look sometimes.
Yeah.
It's moved, like all great technology, it's moved to pornography. So what's happening is they'll take your favorite celebrity and they'll put her face on a porn star doing all sorts of nasty things.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh man, I'm a big fan of celebrity sex tapes. And then oh man, there's no celebrity sex tape from my favorite celebrity. Some gross guy in a basement somewhere has taken your favorite celebrity's face, stuck it on a porn star doing awful porno things. And my friend, not me, my friend has told me that it looks almost, you can't tell. Like if I didn't tell you it was fake, you wouldn't be able to tell. That's how real they've gotten it. Okay.
Damn, I gotta go judge for myself.
Right. So the whole deep fake pornography thing is pretty intense, but that's not even what I want to talk about.
Okay.
This is the story. New deep fake technology lets companies use you, Mr. Ren, in commercials without having to pay you.
Wasn't there like a Chinese story about that?
It's probably sort of the same thing. So this is an Israeli privacy company has created a deep fake technology that would potentially allow companies to invent people who look almost identical to you in their advertisements. Which means if they like your face but they don't want to use you, they can use a recreation of you in their commercial and never pay you.
What?
Yeah.
You can't sue them for that?
No, because it's different enough. It's the 10% difference rule.
Oh, yeah.
And so...
I get it.
Yeah. They talk about how the company's using these deep fakes, computer vision, and deep learning to achieve a feat that's changing a person's appearance.
They're just basically making a better version looking at me.
Yeah. The software uses advanced algorithms to gather the data and footage to replicate the person's face and an alter ego to a degree that protects their identity. It says that the video program utilizes active editing footage. They can create people's facial expressions to match up with another person. Since then, the deep fakes have been noted for their potential ability to produce deep fake news, which I've already seen exists, and hoaxes, as well as humorous parody videos. But everybody knows this is going to be used for some sort of nefarious thing. But I think the way they're selling it is... the company, what they want to do is, let's say you log in and they want to sell you Bose headphones, right?
Okay.
And you're like, oh, I like Bose headphones. So you click on it. Now they've already got your picture because maybe you're on Instagram and you've already used the Instagram filter. They start running a Bose headphone commercial selling to you about how great this person's enjoying it. Well, what if you're watching it and it's you?
That's how I should look like?
Yeah.
Like?
That's the question. Are you more excited now or are you freaked out by this?
Well, if they kind of like, they put in the feature to where you like, you put on yourself.
Yeah.
And it looks okay, but if it just does it automatically.
Yeah.
Like, what the?
That's what they're suggesting is that it would happen automatically. So now you're watching commercials that cater to you because they star you. You become the star in every commercial. And so the idea is your brain will eventually get used to it. We'll be less creeped out by it. And our brains will say, well, I do like Kellogg's cereal. Or I really do enjoy Coors Light.
I remember this.
Yeah. Oh my God, look how good I look next to that hot chick on my Bahamas vacation. So it's a weird thing. And this technology exists now.
The future is now. What if all the celebrities that got hacked, the fappening. Oh, no, it was deep fakes. That's not me.
Well, that's
deep fakes.
Maybe that's a good way to get out of it. Yeah. Everybody can cry deep fake. But yeah, the whole deep fake thing, if you haven't done any research on it, there's both good and bad coming out of it. It's pretty cool. We almost talked about it a little bit in the old podcast with the whole Jimmy Dean thing and all that stuff, James Dean. But so we can promise you that this podcast will never be deep faked. Everything about it is real. I'll never deep fake it for you. And we would like to thank everybody for tuning in. Once again, we had a really good time. I have a whole bunch of stuff left over that we can tackle next episode.
Yeah.
So everybody have a good one. Drive safe if you're in the car. Sleep safe if you're in bed. Poop safe if you're on the pot. We'll catch you later.
Bye.
Forward Bunny.